This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
What's up? All you roadies out there, welcome into another episode of the Fantasy Roadshow, hosted by yours truly, the Truck and Kulz.
Hosted by yours truly. Here we go. The Fantasy Roadshow.
You can find me on Twitter at fantasy_trucker. You can find him on Twitter at Kulz_sports. Follow
I'm
the
him.
show. Yes, he is him. Kulz_sports. Follow the show at Fantasy Roadshow. Check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/sportsethos. And make sure you follow the Substack, thefantasyroadshow.substack.com. We got great material coming for you this week, getting you ready for week one. Big week, huge week. Mike, are you ready?
I am ready. Yeah, I'm excited. Thursday cannot come soon enough. Week one, baby. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for our first edition of Sunday night live, our first YouTube live Sunday night reactions episode. I think that's going to be really fun.
So let's do a quick breakdown. I know we did it on the Friday's episode as well, but it's Monday. This episode will be coming out Monday, so letting everybody know what to expect from the Fantasy Roadshow for season one. Mike just alluded to it. On Sunday Night Football, we will be going live on youtube.com/sportsethos. We will be streaming live during the Sunday Night Football game for about an hour and a half roughly. We're going to be talking about the Sunday slate, what just happened, reactions, raw reactions, maybe talking a little college football too, what happened on Saturday the day prior, and really just diving into anybody's questions. If you guys have questions and you want to ask us, or you just want to come out and hang out and shoot the shit with us, more the merrier. Come and join us on Sunday evenings. Right, Mike?
Yeah, so that's going to be extremely fun, high engagement, a very conversational type of structure. So I do want to – that's going to be an evolving that's going to be an evolving structure on how we want to do it. At first, I think we probably get in there and just kind of sling it, kind of have the slate of games and start from top to bottom and just talk games. And then just maybe open up the floor or keep the floor open to roadies to just kind of jump in the chat and, we can break up our hammering through games with answering questions on start sits, just where if you have any questions based on your current matchup, really whatever, you can ask us about whatever you want, literally. So that's exciting. I think that's going to be a really fun episode / just how to engage with all of our roadies. So I know Ryan is currently distracted by a slow draft we have going on because his pick just got sniped and I was waiting to see you react. But let's go ahead and let you make your pick so that you can eliminate that distraction and we can hammer this bad boy future episode out. But until then, buckle up. Speaking of being distracted, by the way, we only went over our first episode. So bad start, but we will keep pushing, moving forward. But please knock out your pick so that you can be engaged.
Yes, absolutely.
Hashtag locked in.
Hashtag locked.
Let me start. So then Tuesdays we're going to be doing our hitchhiker episode. Fantasy Hitchhiker is going to be our waiver wire. We'll dive into who's on the waivers and who we think you should pick up and why. I think probably give you like our suggestions if you use Fab on what percentage of Fab you should be spending on someone or what range. I honestly personally don't like to do that. I think that's difficult to kind of just throw a number out there. Everyone's situation is different. So, maybe that would be one of those things that you kind of tweet or tweet out, at Kulz_sports or at fantasy_trucker or at fantasy roadshow and tell us kind of, what your situation is. Fantasy Hitchhiker will be on Tuesdays. Mondays reactions from our YouTube live on Sunday evening. Monday or Tuesday reactions. And then Wednesday, we're going to be doing an off day with Thursday's episode being red light, green light. And then I believe we're going to be doing red light, green light's our start sit. Sorry. That's going to be a really fun episode featuring Shane McCormick on a weekly basis. I think he's a brilliant fantasy mind. He has great chemistry with the show, adds a lot every time he's on. So really looking forward to those episodes. Could be some of our best of the week. And then Fridays, we're going to do our pick'em, which check the Twitter because we are going to have actually a roadie pick'em pool where we will be talking through our picks on Fridays, but you guys can participate. We're going to have, an entire group of roadies going against one another and just duking it out. I think we'll have a prize for that, which is going to be exciting. We'll kind of we'll have an epiphany on what that prize is going to be and let you guys know. But make sure you join the pick'em pool. We're going to be pushing that heavily, and then we're going to get involved in DFS. There'll be kind of a blend of what we release on that Friday pick'em show, but we're going to break down each game and then kind of our plays for the week, if you will. So. You got anything to add there, Ryan?
No, to be honest, I was tuning you out mostly, deciding with this pick.
Yeah.
This was a tough pick for me on this draft. I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but
Yeah,
a lot of the guys I liked were gone, and just kind of had to make a rational decision here. So we're all good, though. I think you did cover it. I heard you mention, all the episodes.
Reactions, Hitchhiker, Thursday, red light, green light,
yeah.
And Friday, pick 'em. And, we're going to figure out what that Friday is going to look like, but we will, it'll include our plays for the week, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Mike Kulz here is pretty deep into the sports gambling side of things, and I've never wanted to dive too much into it, but this year I definitely want to at least make some weekly picks here and put some money in the line and try to win some money. So this by no means is an expert gambling show, but I'll include you guys in on my ride here on trying to make some money this year. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that and to be clear, this is definitely fantasy football. In terms of gambling, that's a whole different thing. So, I don't think we'll be getting too deeply into that. It's going to more so be like a fantasy focused portfolio. We'll be playing DFS. We'll be playing, maybe those underdog daily drafts, which is, the weekly format. So, we'll see. That's going to be a work in progress to see how that shakes out. We're going to have to see what happens because I do participate in the super contest type format with a buddy of ours, shout out Brick. And that's just a whole different can of worms that I doubt we get into on this podcast.
Well, it's a good thing we bring it up because today's episode is all futures, right? This is a gambling episode, basically, on kind of our futures picks, who I'm willing to put some money down on the line and say that they're going to win certain things. And so it's just a good caveat. It's we're not experts by any means, but we're just bringing you along for the ride.
Yeah. So also just to kind of be clear with that, like it's kind of like our awards episode. Like we kind of just told you who we had winning those awards. This is going to be that more so than like, the gambling space is a lot of value based betting. So like, sometimes you'll have people that will be taking the number more so than actually thinking the team is going to win. So that's just something I think is very important to know the difference of. But yeah, anyways, these will be our futures picks. Let's get into it. This is gonna be exciting. I personally have a mixture of a lot of things we already talked about and condensing them, but Super Bowl winners, NFC Championship, different divisional winners or placers. I have a most passing yards bet, in awards, and then quite a few player props, keeping it in the theme of fantasy football. So let's just jump right in. Let's start with Super Bowl.
Yeah, who? I want to know your Super Bowl pick. I think I already know. I mean, if you guys are fans of the podcast, probably have a good idea.
Yeah, so I have, which I've already gotten. I've already mentioned when the Bills were 10-1, Buffalo Bills have them at 10-1, and then the Jets at 30-1. That was in the Sports Ethos wagering division. I just thought Rodgers was going to the Jets, and luckily he did, because I had them at 30-1, and their current line on DraftKings is their current line on DraftKings is 16-1. So we already have some great value there. And then I'm going to also add on the podcast the Ravens at 18-1. I just think that there's a really good shot that any of those three teams could be in the Super Bowl, and then you have a very good hedging position. Certainly with the Jets at 30-1, that's just, if they make the playoffs, you're going to be able to hedge off of that. So I really like those three numbers. Do you have any of the Super Bowl picks?
You named a lot of them. The Bills at 9-1 right now is even still a good value, I think, to me. But yeah, the Jets and the Ravens. But I also have the Bengals at 11-1. Joe Burrow, man, if they can make that magic happen this year and finally get past this hurdle that they've kind of had over the last couple of years, I think they got a good enough chance as anybody to win the Super Bowl. So 11-1 is the odds I would take there.
Yeah. So basically what you're hearing from us is fade the Chiefs. This is kind of one of those years that I think from what I gather, we don't think the Chiefs are going to be in the Super Bowl. But yeah, those are my teams. Bills at 10-1, Jets at 30-1. Love that number, seeing as they ended up getting Rodgers and Dalvin. So I just thought it made a lot of sense for him to go there and join a young team with a great defense, with some very good young weapons, and a chance to win a Super Bowl. Walking in the door, turns out he does go there. So that seems to have already heading in the right direction. Ravens 18-1. Do you have any NFC, any conference championship numbers? Because I do.
No. Yeah, the only one I have that I'm interested in is the Eagles plus 250. Like
to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah,
to win the NFC Championship, and that's a bet I will be taking. I will be putting money down and saying that the Eagles are going to win the NFC Championship. I'm very confident in that, and it's just to me that's kind of free money.
Yeah, so I actually have, and this is one of those where you get into more of the gambling side of things. Is the value that I saw there is the Cowboys at 6-1. And who do I think is going to be in the Super Bowl? The Eagles. However, I'll take a 6-1 number on the chance that I see I can just hedge out of that, right? So if the NFC Championship, which I think it's going to be the only teams that can come out of the NFC in my mind are the Eagles, Cowboys, and Niners. And I don't like the Niners quarterback situation. I think, the defense is going to change a little bit, but not a crazy amount, but I think things are going to be a little bit different with D'Amico Ryans going to the Texans. They were completely healthy last year. The whole Bosa concern, I don't have the Niners as much of a threat as they were last year. So to me, it's between Eagles and Cowboys, and I'll take the Eagles at 6, or I'll take the Cowboys at 6-1. Granted, they will be able to win that game, but even more so, it's a great hedge for the Eagles. Let's say Eagles are at home and they're minus 4.5 for that game, then they're going to be a minus 150, 160, something along those lines as your money line. So I'll have a 6-1 Cowboys line to work off of. So that's kind of what I think there with the Cowboys.
That makes sense.
My mentality in taking that 6-1 for them.
Yeah, they I agree with you. The Cowboys seem like the better team outside of everybody else in the NFC. They're the ones that are going to give the Eagles a run for their money. And it's just exciting that they're in the same division to me. You know what I mean? Yep. They're going to be duking it out twice this year, and I'm excited to watch those games. Definitely be highlighted on my calendar. But that's a good value there. But I think I'm still riding with the Eagles at plus 250. What about?
I want to segue. So segueing into an exact result is the division having the Eagles first in the division, Cowboys second in the division at plus 270. So that's an exact result going Eagles 1, Cowboys 2. I think that's just where I see that falling. And then between the Giants and the Commanders, I would have even gone further and gone Giants and Commanders, but I do think the Commanders are going to be sneaky good now. I had them as by far the worst team in the division, but they have a good defense, and then Howell, I think, could surprise some people. So I left them out of it and went Eagles 1, Cowboys 2 at plus 270. I just like that number.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I didn't have that on my list, but I like where you're going with that.
Yep. I don't know if you want to move somewhere else in a different direction. I knew I kind of cut you off there, but I was just going to jump into divisional bets.
Let's do that, because what I was going to go was the AFC Championship, but we already kind of talked about that with our Super Bowl winners, with our Jets, Ravens, Bengals, Bills talk. It's that's pretty much where the AFC Championship talk goes anyway. So it's we can just go into some divisional conversations. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I think the Bills, I said Super Bowl, Josh Allen MVP. I'm all on board of the Bills train right now. So their number is plus 120 to win that division. I like that. And then I like the Jaguars at minus 155. I think they're an absolute lock to win that division, barring a Lawrence injury. So I think first place, my surefire lock bets would be Bills plus 120 to win that, and the Jags at minus 155.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with those. I mean, I can't poke anything in the holes in those, but I like where you're going with that.
I'll keep going. So I have two other divisional winners that I highlighted. I have, and again, these are guys that I genuinely think are going to win the division, and I have good numbers that I can work off of. So Falcons plus 200. I think they're either going to win that division or it's going to come down to the end of the season. So at plus 200, I like the Falcons to win that division. And then I have the Packers at 4-1. I genuinely think they're going to be a lot better than everyone else thinks. I think they have the best defense in the division. And I think, between Aaron Jones and his experience lifting up Love, instilling confidence in that young offense, I think they're going to be there and win that conference. So give me the 4-1 number. Certainly think they're going to be a lot better regardless. I'm pretty much throwing away the Vikings. I think they have a really, really tough start to the year. The Bears are just not good enough yet. And then the Lions are the Lions. So I think there's a very realistic chance that at 4-1, the Packers win that division, or they're going to be competitive and you're going to be able to work off that 4-1 number late in the season. So,
yeah. Mike, I want to bring up a parlay that I was building.
hey!
I want to get your opinion on this. So I parlayed the winners of 4 divisions, the Chiefs, the Jags, the Eagles, and the 49ers at 6-1 odds, plus 600.
Yeah. So the Chiefs worry me. I think they will win that division, but the Chargers, I love them this year. So it would be hard for me to I just love the Chargers, man. And then the Niners worry me, but you who are the other two? You said the
Eagles and the Jags.
Eagles and Jags. So I'll probably throw the Bills in there. Let me look at that. I'll do a 4-team division winner with you right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the reason
Chiefs,
why I went with the
I like
go
the
ahead
Chiefs.
And take a look at that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs and the 49ers because to me, they are the kings of this division, of each of their divisions. As good as the Chargers are, I just think the Chiefs are in the middle of their dynasty and will continue to reign supreme. And the 49ers, they're going to be hard to beat in that division. I don't think the Seahawks have it. I'm not really concerned about the other teams in that division. So for me, with the Eagles and the Jags, all 4 of these are pretty much locks for me to win their division. So I thought plus 600 is great odds. And my cat is just being loud right now.
Yeah, I like that. And then I would add the Bills in there to get it to 14-1.
Oh, you know what? Well, yeah, I think when I was originally looking at that, it's that's a tough division for me to pick with the AFC East, with the Jets and the Dolphins being so good. But I like that. I like you adding the Bills in there. And you said it was 14-1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to make note of that.
14.5-1.
Yeah, that's easy money for me. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yes, sir. All right, so I want to bring up a couple other divisional bets that I have. The Cardinals minus 270 to get 4th place is about as big of a no-brainer. I think they're openly tanking and they're just horrible. So to me, Cardinals minus 270 to get last in their division, and then the Raiders minus 150 to get 4th in their division. So I just think that those to me are the 2 biggest no-brainer last place.
Yeah, I mean those make sense to me. I don't really have anything else for divisional wise. Did you want to get anything else off your list or no?
No, I think I probably could look at that Patriots to get last. Let's see what
I like that one too.
Yeah, let's see what we can get there on the Patriots number. I pulled up the standings to see if there was anything I missed, and I think we can go to the divisional standings, and I can comfortably say that the Patriots at minus 120 can add that to my card. I think they are by far the worst team in that division. It's hard to get excited about really anything that they're going to do this year. And I just want to cheer against them because I don't really like anyone on their team. And they signed Zeke, who I fucking hate.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think?
But yeah,
are we
so
able to parlay the Raiders, Cardinals, and Pats
I
to
don't
lose
think
their
so.
divisions or no?
I don't think so, but let's see. I would love to. That'd be awesome. No, you
Because
can't.
as you were talking about that makes a ton of sense, and that'd be something I would look into. I know you're a little bit more versed in that than I am.
Yeah, so like AFC South, like I could see the Texans or the Colts getting in last place, so I would want off of that. Raiders, to me, like maybe the Broncos could be bad, but I think the Raiders are just going to be. I would be confident enough in saying that they're going to get last in the AFC West. I would want. A month ago, I would have said that the Commanders were a no-brainer, but now I kind of think they could be sneaky good and clip the Giants, so I wouldn't like that. NFC North and NFC South, any team can lose that. It can win or lose those conferences in the Cardinals. So yeah, the teams I would look at are Raiders, Cardinals, and Patriots to get in last place in their divisions.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so let's jump into some props we got, or some, basically I want to start off just by who's going to lead the league in passing yards. And the one that I saw that I really liked was Justin Herbert at plus 650. Herbert is fully capable of leading the league in passing yards. Obviously, Mahomes is going to be up there. He always is, right around that 5,000 range. But I have a feeling, just like how you thought the Chargers might be able to win that division, I just think Herbert's just going to be throwing his lights out. And he's better.
Did you say
the better
6-1?
Yeah, plus 650.
Yeah, so I actually circled that on my card as well. It was 6-1 when I looked at it today on DraftKings. So for me, I agree. I have that exact same bet. I think he's going to throw for 10. He's going to be the first 10,000 yard passing quarterback this year. He's going to, no, I'm kidding.
I was like, wait, what?
Well, how many
10,
per game is that? Yeah.
A lot.
10,000 over the course of 17 games. He would have to throw for 588 yards per game. And I think it's going to happen this year.
It's fully capable of doing it. I'll tell you what.
Could you imagine if I just went through with a fully serious take about 10,000 yards for him? But no, I think 5. I think he's going to get 5,000 yards. And I just think it's a massive bounce back year. He's going to be talked about after this season as the no-brainer number 3 quarterback. We're going to be hearing Mahomes, Allen, and Herbert. So, obviously Hurts and Burrow are still in that conversation. So, no-brainer top 5 are those guys. So, let me go through and talk about let me go ahead and talk about Bijan. I know you got a pick coming up, so you're going to be a little bit distracted here, but I'll talk about Bijan, offensive rookie of the year. Got him as or not offensive. Sorry, offensive rookie of the year at plus 275. Bijan Robinson. I know we just actually had our awards episode that will be live tomorrow, and a little bit of a spoiler alert. Truck and Shade brought up that they have Bryce Young as their offensive rookie of the year, and I started out that segment by saying I don't really think anyone else can win this award, and I kind of still feel like that's true, barring injury. Bijan is just going to win the offensive rookie of the year. He's going to be such a big part of that offense. I think they're going to be either division champions or in the running for divisional champions. So in order to do so, I mean, Bijan's going to not get off the field. He's going to have an insane year. So if I can get that at, plus 275, it's just an absolute no-brainer. Give me Bijan Robinson I think we saw Panthers offense struggle to kind of knock down that Bryce Young take. I don't think that they're going to be looking very good early on. It's going to take some time for him to get things going there. I think Anthony Richardson has absolutely no shot. He's going to be dog shit. And Stroud, things are going to be ugly for the Texans again for another year. And then, I mean, Gibbs and any of those receivers, I just don't see how they could outshine and have a better statistical year than Bijan. So to me, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree with you. Bijan, offensive rookie of the year, is kind of a locked.
Yeah. And then I guess we could just bring up for the style of it. I'll just keep talking while you're hammering this out. Damar Hamlin, comeback player of the year, like that is just free money that the casino is handing away. I think it's, I mean, I could look it up right now. I think it's like minus 285 for Hamlin. So, I mean, if you could parlay Damar Hamlin comeback player of the year with the Cardinals to get last in their division, that would be basically just, absolute free money. But all right, let's reel things back in here, Rye. You almost good?
Yeah, I'm talking through a pick right here. It's Terry McLaurin is interesting to me here. I like Christian Kirk and I like George Pickens. Terry's toe injury obviously is concerning to me, but I'm having a hard time picking between Terry, Kirk, and Pickens.
All right, I got an idea for you. Pull up your rankings, see what it says, and then pick whoever's on top.
All right.
You're indecisive. That process when drafting eliminates any anxiety or indecisiveness you have. You put blood, sweat, and tears into your rankings. You should stand by those like it's the fucking law. And it makes everything a lot easier.
Yep. Terry McLaurin it is.
Terry Mack. I mean, dude, how good is Terry McLaurin and how good do you think Howell is going to be this year,
Yeah. It concerns me not having him week 1, but as long as he recovers with that toe injury, I'll be okay. So enough
that's
about
why
the draft.
That's why you got him in the middle of the 6th round. Enough with the draft. Let's lock in here for the end of this episode.
Got it.
Where else do you have? So anything else that you have right now on your board, let's talk about, because from here on out, mine are all player props, all fantasy related. So let's talk.
And that's exactly where I'm at. We talked about Herbert leading the league in passing yards. I want to talk about someone leading the league in passing touchdowns. And I think that could be Joe Burrow at plus 450. I think Burrow is going to be throwing a lot of touchdowns this year. He's got a great receiving core, the high-powered offense. I mean, Burrow is on a path that he wants to win a championship. So they're going to be winning a lot of games, and I think he's going to be throwing a lot of touchdowns. So Burrow at plus 450, I like him throwing the most touchdowns of the year.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think Chase has the most receiving touchdowns, so that is in line with that. I didn't take the number because I think Jamar was like the favorite, and just not interested in that. That field is way too open. But
for receiving touchdowns,
I like that.
Receiving touchdowns, I like Kelsey at plus 500 and Diggs at plus 1,200. I mean, Diggs could easily, if you think that the Bills are going to be on that rampage that you think they're going to be on, I could see Diggs leading the league in touchdowns or Kelsey. I mean, we all know what Kelsey does in the red zone. So if you're talking about receiving touchdowns, leading the league, I like Kelsey and Diggs.
Love it. All right. You got anything else there? Because I'm working into props now. So whenever.
Yeah. So I got the Nick Chubb leading the league in rushing yards at plus 450. I'm really, really excited about what Chubb can do. And I think the Browns are going to be running early and often. They're going to be establishing the run. and Chubb is one of the best pure runners in the NFL. So Chubb at plus 450 to lead the league in rushing yards to be the win the crown. I'm pretty confident in that pick as well.
Awesome.
But that's about it. I mean, if you want to go into props, we can talk about props too.
Yeah, so that's just the rest that I have on my list is these props. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. One other one I had written down on the side here. Leading the league in receptions. I thought this one was interesting because of what we talked about recently, but Amon-Ra St. Brown at plus 1,200, 12-1 odds to lead the league in receptions. And I'm very interested in that. I think, through the first 6 weeks without Jameson Williams being there, Amon-Ra is going to be targeted early and often. I mean, we talked about him this first week, probably getting 15 receptions.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I agree with that. I honestly agree with all of those in terms of just who I think. I think your head's in the right place there. So I will start with I have 2 rushing unders. I have Isaiah Pacheco under 775.5 and Rashad Penny under 600.5. So I think that first of all, just you have the injuries concern, right? A running back injury concern. So you already have that. Yeah. And then Penny, I just think is going to be the kind of the third man out in the Eagles backfield. So, 600 rushing yards it's not, as Ryan likes to say, it's not nothing. In order for an RB3 on an Eagles team to get 600 yards, I just think he needs to be involved a little bit more than I think he will. And then you have the injury concern on top of that. Pacheco, 775.5, kind of the same story. He's obviously the lead guy there, but I think you have injury. You have the injury risk that you have with everyone, but add that into what I think is going to be a little bit more of a committee backfield than you would originally think. They're going to use McKinnon. They're going to use Clyde in my mind as well. So because of that, I think Pacheco's rushing number kind of has a little bit of like RB1 and a little bit of that Super Bowl performance base baked into it. So because of that, I like those 2 rushing unders.
Yeah, those make sense to me.
I had a third.
Oh, go ahead.
I had B-Rob, Brian Robinson under 750.5. So again, you have the rushing risk in a running back to play a full 17 games. You have another guy who I think is just going to constantly lose his job throughout the season. So give me B-Rob as well, his under.
Yeah, I like that. Pivoting to a couple overs. I like Cam Akers, his over of 775. We both really like Cam Akers this year. To get 775 yards, I mean, you saw what he did at the end of last year in the last 3 games. Like, he was putting up 100-yard games back to back to back. Like, if they use him like they plan on using him, especially with Cooper Kupp dealing with this hamstring injury, they could turn to Cam Akers pretty early. I really, really like that over on 775.
Yeah, I like that as well. So I actually have some rushing overs as well.
Okay.
Travis Etienne, 925.5. Simply, you heard Coach come out and say, I could see him as a 1,600, 1,700 yard rusher this year. Okay, give me his over. He had like 1,100 He had like 1,100 last year, and for some reason, we're saying he's going to be at 925.
But Mike,
everyone's worried about
Tank Bigsby, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, sure. So give me that ETN number. You have the head coach come out and say 16, 17. That gives me 700 to 800 yards of cushion, and I'm going to take that all day.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so the other one is J.K. Dubinsky at 750.5. I think his number is low due to injury concern in the past. I think his number is low because, of his high being at 800. But if he is healthy for 14 games this year, he's going to smash that over. I would even say less than that. Like he's going to have multiple 100-yard games and get to that 750 number pretty quickly. I just think he's going to be a beast all season. So I'm not worried about getting Mr. Dubinsky to the 751 rushing yards.
Yeah. Caveat, that is my favorite nickname of the offseason is J.K. Dubinsky. Just locking that in. That's my favorite nickname.
Okay, I like it.
There's some good ones. We have to have a segment of our best nicknames so far because there's some funny ones. But
what about Daltonian?
Daltonian Kincaid. That's a good one too. Yeah, Daltonian.
So yeah, give me one you got. I have another rushing one. I just want to make sure we stay on rushing.
That's what I do too. I have another rushing one. I just think it's just this number is way too low. Christian McCaffrey on FanDuel, you can get him over under at 850. Like Christian McCaffrey is still Christian McCaffrey. Yes, Elijah Mitchell is going to be eating into his workload. Yes, they don't plan on using him as often as he once was being used. But I mean, 850 to me, that's just too low. If Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, and that's kind of what this number implies to me, that he just doesn't stay healthy all season. But if he is healthy, man, I think he reaches that 850 rather quickly. I don't know how you feel about that.
I don't feel one way or another about it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't need to say much there. I just am interested what a full season workload for the 49ers is going to look like before I take a season-long stance like that on him. But, yeah, I mean, it's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, exactly. And like they were excited to get him. He's excited to be on the team. This is his first full offseason with the team. They're full powered over there with that offense. So I think if that continues and that stays the same, McCaffrey's in line for a big season. I mean, that's why people are drafting him in the first round.
Yeah. The other rushing over I have is Yoshi Alan. He has over 750 rushing yards in the last 2 seasons. So I just think that he's going to have another one of those big rushing years. I mean, his entire career, he had 630, 510, 421, 750 and 750, or 763 and 776 the last 2 seasons since they moved to 17 games. So 550 is the number. I think he's going to be in the 7s once again. I mean, to me, that number's just not changing. So give me Josh Allen over 550.5.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a lock for me. I mean,
Yoshi Allen.
Yeah. Number 2 favorite nickname, Yoshi, for Josh Allen. All right. Mike, you got anything else? What else is on your list? I'm running pretty dry over here as far as futures.
Yeah, I got some more. So
what you got for me?
I got some more that I think you're gonna love too.
Ooh, okay. I'm listening.
I will just talk about these two together. I have a little Chicago Bears props for you.
Ooh, hit me with it.
So I've said before, and I know you're on board with probably both of them, but I definitely, I think DJ Moore is going to have career highs in every single number.
I love that.
He has 62.5 is his over under for receptions. 800.5 is his receiving yard number, and 4.5 is his total for touchdowns. I just see all three of those going over. Let me take a look here what his career highs are in each. So he had 93 catches, 1193 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So I think it's realistic to say that Moore, could have 95 receptions, 1,200 receiving yards, and 8 touchdowns.
I love that.
Quite frankly, if he gets 95 catches, that is 32 over his total, which is 50% of what the over-under is even at. He would have 400 yards over that over-under, which is 50%. And yeah, so it would be a 50% increase from what his current, over-unders are on the season. And I think all those do hit, and you have a lot of breathing room in between, what I just statted out and where those numbers currently are. So that would also parlay me into Mr. Justin Fields at 2,850 and a half receiving yards. I like that number, man. For me, Fields, he already talked. He wants to be a 4,000-yard passer. Don't think he gets there, but if he gets even close, that gives us, 1,150 passing yards to work with. When a player targets a number, I like that. I like that they're talking about it, and that's their goals and where they see themselves, because a discrepancy that big gives us a lot of wiggle room. So if he throws for 3,000 yards, it's not 4,000 like his goal is, but give me that over 1,000 yards of cushion that we have to work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna hammer that one all day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna hammer that one all day,
Yeah.
Day. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna see me hammering that one all day there.
Yeah, all day. Okay, listen, it's Justin Fields is gonna have a minimum of 3,000 yards. So if you can get a player prop at 2,800, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, you're gonna hammer that all day.
But yeah, no, realistically, I'm definitely taking that one. I think he's going to have a big season, and 3,000 yards is not crazy. So let's see here. I knew you were going to like the Bears. Another one that I know you like is Elijah Moore. His number is 45.5 catches and 575.5 receiving yards. This to me is just like, if you think Elijah Moore is going to have a bounce back year, then take these numbers, because neither of them are very high. And if he is the number 2 receiving option in Cleveland, he's going to smash those numbers. If he's the number 3 receiving option in Cleveland, he should smash those numbers. So yeah,
for me, like, let's see what the over-under of Deshaun Watson passing yards is, because Deshaun Watson, the quarterback, likes to throw the ball. Yeah, 36.50.5 is his over-under for passing yards. I mean, when Watson is on, and if he actually looks like the Deshaun Watson that we know, let's see, his seasons in Houston, he had 4,800 passing yards, 4,100 passing yards, and 3,850. Those are 3 seasons in which he played 16, 16, and 15 games. Give him 17. I think he's going to be over that set 4,500 mark this year. So, 600 of those going to Elijah Moore. I think that is a lock for how I have that team statted out and how I have Elijah Moore finishing the season. I think he's going to smash both of those numbers. So, what do you think about Elijah? Is that on the right track?
1,000%. Like the way that the coach talks about him, the way that we've seen him kind of be positionless in this league, like on this team, like I am just very excited for what Elijah Moore is going to do for this year, and I think those lines are just too low, so I would be hammering those as well.
Yeah, this number now is going to make you're going to see live on air. Fantasy Trucker is going to shit his pants, and I'm excited to see it happen. Zay Flowers over 500.5 yards.
Get my phone. Where's it at? Where's the line at? Give me a fucking hammer.
DraftKings has that at 500.5. I mean,
the audacity.
Zay Flowers and the way that we have seen him, 501 divided by 17. We need him to get 29.5 yards per game, Ryan.
Wow. Yeah, I'm taking that all day. I'll probably put 1,000 on it. I'll put 1,000 on that one.
29.5 is the number.
Unbelievable.
So, I think one thing that Ryan and I are going to have to take a look at, I don't know if Underdog has this. I know Prize Picks does it, but you can go and you can find those. Oh, pick them. Yeah, high.
Yeah,
low.
they do it. The over unders. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if we have a number here for the if we can get some of those numbers and we can put together like a super, a super max. Find some of those that we really like type things. I'm gonna waste time looking at it right now, but we'll get back to you about that because I would like to do that. If you and I put together like a DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, some of these numbers that we have here that we just believe that these players are not only going to beat that number but fucking smash that number.
Yeah.
If we could put together a nice little parlay of that and just each put down a little bit of cash and have some ridiculous multiplier that we can watch that over the course of the season, I think that could be really fun.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So stay tuned for that. And Mike, do you have anything else before we hit the road?
One more, and I think you're going to like it as well. Justin Jefferson over 8.5 touchdowns. If you have 180 targets, I think last year he just didn't see the end zone as much as I would like. 8 touchdowns last year, 10 the year before. Like if you're getting 184 targets, and he's getting close to 2,000 yards, you're going to have over 8.5 touchdowns. So I think he has double-digit touchdowns this year. So give me that Jefferson over 8.5 number as well.
Oh yeah, he's in line for major positive regression there. And just, I mean, it was just too low. I mean, Jerick McKinnon had more receiving touchdowns than Justin Jefferson last year. So Justin, definitely in line for a big season. I'm projecting double digits for him. So yeah, give me that all day.
All right. Well, that should wrap it up. Stay tuned. I am going to release a Substack with all of these picks, just so you all have them. I'm going to also cross-reference DraftKings with FanDuel so you can get the best numbers out there. I also want to say that we're going to take a look at this Prize Picks thing, because if we can put together a nice juicy 20-1 multiplier with five players we like, I think that's an exciting thing to root for all season. So I am ready to sign out if you are, Captain.
Oh, you know it. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Fantasy Roadshow, and stay tuned. And most importantly,
buckle up.